Soviet Super Heavy Tank KV5 by Tacom. Bleep, 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 bleep. Tacom. Well, guys, quick bench update on this Tacom KV5. I actually had started a whole building this kit, blow by blow, section by section, but I've decided not to post any of it, mainly because every other word is probably a massive F-bomb. Yeah, this has not been a happy build. This has not been a Bob Ross build. It is probably one of the worst kits I have built that I can recall. Right up there with some of those kinetic ones that old Norm built. Yeah. First of all, let's start with the instruction. No, first of all, while we still have daylight, I got to show you what's going on. Let me preface this. This time yesterday at 5 p.m., it was 26 degrees outside. I was in shorts and a t-shirt cutting the lawn. So, this is 24 hours later. Yes, gentlemen, that is snow. September the 8th. Farther north of us, there's about 4 inches on the ground. And we're just getting it down here in this part of the city. This is about 20 minutes of accumulation. So by tomorrow morning, I'm sure it's just going to be lovely outside. Actually, it's supposed to be by Thursday back up into the pluses, so this will probably all be melted. But yeah, when you're 40 minutes from the Rocky Mountains, this is the kind of crappy weather you're going to get. Anyway, so this is 40 minutes from the last footage. It's really coming down. This is the 8th of September, guys. Western Canada. 40 kilometers, more than 40. 45 minutes from the Rocky Mountains. And yeah, it's 2 degrees outside right now, which is about 30, 33, 34 Fahrenheit. Anyway, back to the bleep bleep Tacom KV5. So it looks pretty good, but let's just start up with these. First of all, these are mislabeled. They've got 1617. It should be 1718. Or, yeah, 1718. These are wrong. So your numbers are wrong. These don't line up, so don't use the pins, guys. Don't glue these together until you have got the tracks built. Do not glue this to this idler wheel. This idler wheel is actually, it's tapered. So you can't just put them on and spin them. You're going to have to round this out so it's no longer tapered. And this does not fit with a dam into the hull parts. Okay, flip this over here. Now, what they have you do is actually build the road wheels onto the suspension. Do not do that. Put the suspension on by themselves. Now, when you're fitting the suspension onto the hull, gentlemen, make sure that you do not push the suspension arms all the way into the hull, because they will be too close to the hull when you go and put your track in. So leave them just a little bit out. Do not glue your road wheels onto your arms like they show over here in C. Do not glue those on. Leave those off. You can put those onto the hull, but if you put them up snug, they're going to be too close to the hull. So you'll end up cutting them all off. So do not glue those onto that. You can put them on after. The tracks are absolutely the worst tracks I've ever used. They do not fit. You have to clean each and every track up and then pressure fit them and put the glue on, because they'll just pop right off. I had footage of that happening, but there was just too many F-bombs thrown out there. So make sure... I don't know if you want to spend any extra money on Friul models. You know, you probably could, but yeah, I don't know. All right, another thing which threw me off was that, as you can see on this side, you see the distance between the drive wheel and the last road wheel. There's quite a bit of room here, but because of the way the suspension is lined up, this one actually goes over and you have to do, you're going to have fit issues about going over here. And another thing, gentlemen, these drive sprockets do not line up with the corresponding drive cutouts on the tracks. They're actually much too thick, so you have to thin your drive sprockets right down for these to fit. Another thing you don't want to do when you put on your front road wheel, your idler wheel, it actually has a little bit of play, so that if you're, say, a half a link out or something, you can rotate this whole thing to tighten it up, because as you can see right back in there, right back up against the hull, that's the actual track tensioner on the real tank. So if you leave all this loose, don't glue any of this, put it all in loose, you can actually snug up your track so it's nice and tight. Another problem here with these is that on the top idlers, they're not wide enough to fit the horns in. You've pretty much got to go and widen them out, or like I said, probably what you want to do is put your insides on, lay your tracks over, and then put your outsides on so that they'll fit. If you try and put it on one piece like any conventional other model, you're not going to get very good, well, they're not going to fit. So you're going to have to do that. I don't know how many times I just about binned this kit, but I stuck it through. It does have a really nice metal barrel. The metal barrel is fantastic. Fits in there nice, but as you can see, it's all sloppy in the mantle. So everything else, every other locating hole is either too small or too shallow. The locating pins on these are too deep, so you have to nip them off. They don't fit. Just little things like the locating pins being too shallow, too small, too not deep enough, all that kind of stuff. It just drives you friggin' batty after a while. Like I say, it looks good. It looks the part. It looks like the KV5, which is just a prototype kit. It looks good, but the little things just drive you absolutely batty with this thing. Like on the hull here, on the turret, you can see here, you put the mantle onto the face, and it's supposed to fit inside these little guides to line up. Well, guess what? They don't fit inside. They fit exactly on top of. So then you have a gap around, so you have to end up shaving those off, getting your mantle on. This was a real friggin' nightmare. These poly caps, they're too small for the corresponding pins. So you have to work on that. They're a bit of a pain in the buttocks to get put on. So there's so many little naggly niggly things that you just want to throw the bloody thing across the room. But you know, after $70, I can't do that. So I see I've babbled on for 7 minutes and 33 seconds already. So I've got to go take this down, hit this with some black primer, get the running gear primed, get the underneath of the fenders primed, throw the fenders on. I'm just curious to see if these fenders are in even fit, because I'm looking at the mounting holes right there for the fenders, and there is not a whole lot of room there for tracks and mounting fenders. I'm just wondering if these are going to fit. Well, you guys will see this again once this beast is painted, and I'm going to I got the Object 279 painted and a few other goodies done. I'm going to get after it here. It doesn't look like I'll be going out and doing anything tomorrow, so we'll have a whole day of model behind the bench. Later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.